Good morning, and I can't even say sliding afternoon because it's technically afternoon because it is noontime, right? But I slid in anyway. You're gonna go right here at the last minute, putting it all together, so everything for you. So today we are making a crate with Snowy Wonder, and we're gonna show you how to do it. It's gonna coordinate with a card that we did for the retreat because this Saturday I will be at Coker Fest, which is Coker Methodist Church, right off of Wurzbach, where we'll be having a arts and crafts show there. So I'll be right there by the sanctuary. If you want to come by and say hello or check things out, I'd love for you to come by. All right, so let's go down to the crate, and we're going to make the crate. And once we get through the crate, I'm going to show you what was in the October Adventure Club More Than Autumn. So if you haven't opened your kit yet, you might not want to watch, all right? So let's go down the hands and let's do this. Everything's an adventure, right? Oh, yeah. So this is what is in the kit right now. So you're going to get this card here, right? And this card as well as this 3D project. And this is a post-it. So you're going to have a post-it note holder as well designed with this. All right. So the crate's not in there. If you want the crate, let me know. You'll get the stuff to make the crate. You just won't get the actual physical box itself. All right. So here is the card we made for the retreat. Triple Z, right? Depends on how you want to look at that Z. And it comes out like this right here. So we're going to make this portion here. We'll have to get your feedback to see what you think about making this, especially when we get to combining it right there. Okay. So if you look at this here, this is actual Summer Splashes, the color here. Cardstock. It's one of the new colors this year, and that's what I actually used to make the card. And we're going to use it with this as well too. So I'm going to take all the pieces out that I've already got ready and prepped. So we're going to use this. And these are 3/4 inch strips. So there's the snowman paper. This paper here that looks like snow and all. This is actually from the Nest of Winter Sweet, right? So I actually used this from another suite of paper. Cut down to 3/4 inch, and then this one here is also from the penguin paper here. So I've already fussy cut. So yes, there's some fussy cutting. So I've already fussy cut out the snow globe here. I already have this stamped here, this tag. This is actually just the reverse of the bottom of the snow globe that is in the dies for this set. So I just flipped it over into Season's Greetings. We got 2 penguins, and then we have our paper here. So you're going to need 3D adhesive, and I'm just going to use the glue because it just makes it easier. So the toughest decision out of this is to decide which paper. I already know I want papers that are on the card. Okay, so this is one of the papers. So it's a matter of deciding. And I know for sure this is going to be at the bottom. I've already sort of bent these, right? Because I'm not wrapping them all the way around. I'm going to put that Summer Splash on the sides because I've already, so they're embossed it with some snowflakes. So I just did it like this right here. I mean, technically, if you wanted to, you could go all the way around. I didn't want to do that, but I could if I wanted to, right? I might make another one doing that, just so you see what it looks like. And this would be the second color, if I was going to go directly from the card. And then here was the third one, if I go directly how I did the card. Now, granted, when you see the card, and I'll show you the comparisons, you can see the proportions are a little bit different, right? So that's why you're going to get a little bit different look here. So the question becomes is, do I want to leave it like this, or would I prefer to put 2 layers of this and just put that on top, right? So it's one of those things I can go ahead and glue it down, and if I don't like it, I can go over it, right? But I really don't want to waste my paper because I've gone to my last pack. I had to order another pack just to do for today. So this is what it would look like if I did it like this, right? So it's all about choices for me. I'm sure it's all about choices for you too. We're going to stamp some presents just like the package. And this will go up here like this. And then it will go up here like this. So that is one scenario that I like, all right? The next scenario that I'm not sure if I like or not, and that's what I was looking for some input, is to continue with this. You know, the other things I do sometimes too is I'll just put a little dab of tape on back, just hold it in place if I want to. Is another trick that I do from time to time to hold something in place so I can see what it looks like. The other thing I'll do too is I'll take a picture of it with the camera and see what it looks like from that aspect. So then this is what this would like if I did here. And I put this up here, and then we'd have another penguin. Now, the penguins are going to be on dimensionals, all right? So you have to keep that in mind. Penguins will be on dimensionals. And we're going to put ribbon on the bottom, all right? So those are my options. So right now, I'm sort of leaning to taking out the snowman because I think it's almost a little bit too much. But you can definitely change my mind. And then I'm for sure going to put this on here. It's just a matter if I'm going to do 2 layers of blue. So I'm going to start off with 2 layers of the blue, but if you decide that you like the snowman and need to do a different order, let me know and I'll do it, all right? So I've gone ahead and I have just creased this right here. Because for me, it's just easier to crease it because when you measure these, I sat there and wrote the measurements down. And I'm looking for my measurements. They're really odd sizes. Here they are right here. So it's odd sizes. It's not like your perfect little 1/4 inch. So here's the strips. They're 3/4 by 5 1/8. Well, it's like a smidgen difference. So what I'm going to do, for me it's just easier to bend the paper here, take my scissors and snip. So if you're wondering what these are, this is a crate, right? It's going to be at our arts and crafts booth. So we're going to have where you can buy the crates. We're going to have it where it's already gift packed. And then you can make your own gift pack if you want to, because we'll have pieces that you can add to it, right? So like build your own bear, you can build your own crate, but what you want on the inside of it as gifts. And we'll do that too. All right, so there's one strip there. I'm not sure this one's going to be long enough because it needs to be at least 5 1/8 inches long. That much I do. So out of a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, you're only going to get 2 cuts out of that, right? In fact, that was not, so I've actually taken my scraps from the retreat and I've added them in here. So we're just going to add some glue here. Now you just want to make sure on your edges that for sure your edges have got glue, because you don't want your edges coming up. I'm just going to do what we just did just then. It's just going to have a little gap because there's a little gap in the crate, and that's what I want. Okay, and again, just make sure your edges line up. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Just going to fold it down. Actually, I should have done that before I did what I did, but okay. That happens sometimes. I get too busy talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing and thinking. All right, there we go. But I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. To me, that's small stuff. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing up here. I'm going to come up here, and I'm just going to fold it down. There you go. And we'll cut it. So I'm just doing the front side right now, okay? And then we'll worry about the side, because that's where all the work's going to be, right? Here's right on the front, where we're going to do all the decoration. This is what people are going to see, and it makes them decide if they want it as a gift or not, or if they want to give it as a gift. But I have to tell you, making things and giving to people makes their day. I had a friend I haven't talked to in a while call me, Beth Roach. She called me this morning. We hadn't chatted in a while. We usually every day once we get together and have hot chocolate at one of our favorite places. And anyway, we were catching up. She said that she really enjoyed the cards I sent her. I did one with hot chocolate on it, and she keeps them right there in front of her. All right, so this is what it looks like when we put the 3 strips on right here. All right, so from here we're going to build it. I'm going to go ahead and get this down right here. Or not. I'm just thinking, I just left a gap before is what I did because I knew. All right, so I'm going to just put this right on the bottom. So the key to this is just put a very thin layer of glue. Very, very thin. You don't want a whole lot because it'll show through. And we don't really want it to show through. We just want a thin enough layer so that the ribbon will stick down. Now, to me, the ribbon would be cute going all the way around. I didn't design it that way at the moment, but I could, right? So I would just tell you to be sure to, when you lay this down, if you think you're going to want to do all sides, I would just go ahead at this point, just leave some extra on ends, because it's just easier to blend them together. Let's see, it's sticking to me. It's just easier to blend them together, right? It's the ends. They look like they're one continuity there. Yeah, I did want mine on the bottom down there. So this ribbon is actually, see if I get it there. One thing about glue is, right, it still lets you maneuver with it for a little bit. Not forever, but just a little bit. Just take my little spatula here and just sort of just smooth that out. it's not gonna be perfect, right? Because it's material. But just get it as flat as you can. Let's use my spatula to help scooch it down. And you can use it to actually help flatten it down too. Okay? Alright, these little guys we're going to put up on dimensionals. Now here's the card again. So this is what we're building from the card, right? So I still got to stamp the presents, but let's go ahead and get the snow globe positioned. We know the snow globe's going to be here, and we can put it up on dimensionals. We know this penguin is going to cross over just a little bit, right? Alright, so let's get them up here. Like I said, if you think you prefer that I change out the paper on top of the design, that's no big deal, right? Because we are dealing with paper, and the fact is we can easily cover it with other paper. Well, that's different. My dimensionals, look at there, stuck to the back of my other dimensionals. Huh. Put that aside, that was like trouble. Alright. So, when we go and put this on here, I'm going to put it up where, I'm just going to put it up just a little bit, so the top of it's just going to go over just a smidgen. Not a lot, but just a little bit, right? To give dimension to it, because we're going to give dimension. So yeah, like I said, if you're interested in this and part of the to-go kit, that'll be mailed out most probably on Friday from the 16th through the 31st. Just let me know. Like I said, the box won't come, but I could definitely send you the pieces and components to make your own. Alright, it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. But for sure, you'll get the 2 cards and 2 3D projects. Alright, I'm just going to, again, just like I did in the photo over there, I have it just crossing over just a little bit. Just going to put this one up here, right here. And this one's going to go right up here. So let's see how we're going to get our other penguin's going to be down here. We're going to put it on dimension as well. So then we'll put some presents in between. So I will, like I said, I do have the cardstock that we're going to put on the sides. And at first, you know, they tell you some different choices of colors that they suggest, right, on the paper. Put it right down there by the snow. So this really goes good with it. Alright, this is like a darker version of Coastal Cabana to me. You can see right there, but see, I'm embossing this, so we're going to put this on the sides of the card. I hadn't decided if we're going to put that on the back, or I might just put this on the back, I believe. That's what I envisioned when I was creating this to do. Alright, let's get some presents on here, because that really, you can see, it's going to help fill in some gaps. And we can also get this on up here. So I am going to put that on my dimensionals. I actually grabbed this off of something else. Well, actually, I grabbed it off the card I created to match this, right? Let's see if I can get this extra off. At least the paper, I can glue the rest of it on. Okay, because that's all I was going to do, is just going to take some glue since I pulled it off the other. Right, it was one of those things I was running out of time. It's like, okay, I have time to build it on the other one. Let me at least get this going here. So I stamped this in garden green. I'm thinking of my greens here. And the little peppermints they're on back order again. But I have some, so it doesn't matter if you sit there and do definitely want this to come down just a little bit more. So if you do this, you'll still get the peppermints, because I have peppermints. I ordered extra for the retreat that we had on Saturday, which is tons of fun. They're right there. So you'll have the little peppermints to come with it. All right, let's stamp the little packages here. We'll let that dry as we're doing this. And then we'll see about cutting down. So we are going to cut down the summer splash to put on the sides. Now I did 3 gifts. And actually when we created the card, I did the stamp off to create some additional presents in other colors, right? So that's just one way to either get you a shadow if you're doing trees or leaves. Or in this case, I'm doing presents. And if I want some different colors, that's all you got to do. So this one, though, I'm going to sort of do like the card, because the thing is, when people come and they want the crate, then they have the option of also getting the coordinating card to go with it, right? So that's sort of what I envision doing, is making things that go together. So this one, yes, I will have to hand cut, but it won't take very long. The nice thing is I sort of did these round, but the same deal with the bottom here. So that just made them side by side so I can come straight strip here. And don't let me forget, I want to show you about the penguins too, because when you sit there and cut the penguins out to make use of your paper, in fact, I'll do it as soon as I get these guys at least down to this level here. So one thing to keep out when your directional papers or any of it, the penguins, to see it makes the most of it, you want to sort of cut them at a diagonal like this. Because if you cut across, it doesn't necessarily, see how you've got where you got, it goes, and so they cross over. If you cut directly across, you can cut some of the legs or heads off. So it's easier with this paper if you'll just come and cut diagonally. And then this way you get a lot more penguins. In this particular case, I would have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 penguins just out of that one strip by cutting it diagonally, right? So just some things when you look at your paper and you want to maximize your paper, just look at those different things like that, particularly like for today, what we're doing. And I want to make more, right? So I've got to sit there and make room for my penguins. Get as many penguins as I can get. And same thing for the retreat, right? When you're doing a retreat, you're creating packets together for a lot of people. So you just want to keep that in mind of how can you get the most out of your paper, right? So for example, for the retreat, we actually ran out of snowmen. And that's because the card I just showed you, we used the snowman paper in the background. And then we turned around and made shaker cards with a card that you just saw. We ended up using that in the retreat to make. And so therefore I didn't have enough snowmen, so I had to go to the big snow globes. So just to show you this, how this is going to look, right? We're just going to put some presents. Down here we'll put them up on dimensionals. So one present we will sit up here and we'll actually just glue it down so we get some depth, right? So yeah, so I was trying to figure out why we ran out of snowmen, and it was because we sat there and I used it for background for that card. So then we had to go get the bigger snow globes that was in that designer paper and use them to just get snowmen out of it. That's okay, you do what you have to do, right? Okay, let me go ahead and at least put one of these down with some glue. So I am using glue, right? Because we got a 3D project here that's going to be given as a gift. So you're going to want to either use this or you're going to want to use Stamp and Seal Plus, which is a 3D adhesive. Any kind of 3D adhesive, right? Okay, this one we're going to put on with a dimensional. So if your dimensional is too big, just cut it down. But I believe this one fit just... Okay, it's not. It's just a little big. So then that's fine. I'm just going to come to the bottom down here. And I'm going to tear a piece off of here. And then we're just going to stagger it, right? So it's your creation, right? You can do whatever you want to do. It's not like I'm a machine and I'm going to mass produce anything, because I'm not. We'll finish this last one here. So just staggering it, right? Just give it a nice look. But you can do it however you want. If you want more presents, you can. I would just tell you, it's sort of like embellishing anything, right? So if you're going to do it, then I would mostly do it in odd numbers. Now I didn't do the peppermints in odd numbers when we did the season's greetings, just because there just really wasn't anywhere to put it. Even the tiniest one wouldn't squeeze hardly in the last one there. So I just tore that off, and I'm just gonna just stagger it just like this. Just sort of like you know, if you had gifts under the tree or whatever, you sort of stagger it, right? Okay, so I'm gonna leave this at the moment because I'm not sure if I'm gonna wrap around. I'm seriously thinking about it though. Okay, so this is basically the front of the card, or the front of the box. So here's what I have here, and here's what I have here. So you have to let me know what you think, okay? Now the sides, I've already measured the sides. The sides are, shake that off, is 2 3/8 by 3 3/16, okay? So I'm just going to tuck this here just a moment to roll with me. All right. So here's our 3 3/16, and here's our 2 3/8 right here. So I'm going to cut 2 3/8, and that way we'll do it just like we did the side pieces at a 1/2 inch. So let me get 2 3/8. 2 3/8, I don't know, for me it's bad enough to do a 1/4, but 3/8. So that's an 1/8. So you really have to look at your stuff, right? Let me get this over here so you can see this. All right, so here's our inch. Here's our ½ inch. Here's our quarter of an inch. And there's our eighth. So 1, 2, there is an eighth right there. So we need 2 3/8. So 1, 2, there's our 2 3/8. Sometimes I take a piece of tape. I don't have anything right now to do that. If I was doing a lot of stuff like I did for the retreat, I literally put a piece of tape there so I would do it right and it wouldn't mess up. So it's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, and 4/8 we know is a half, right? So if you're ever concerned, that would be your sign, okay? So I'm going to take the extra paper here and I'm going to put it here. So I already know for sure I wanted this color on the sides because it's going to match the cards, right? So I'm going to do the same thing you saw me do a minute ago. I'm just going to take it like this. And I'm going to just fold it right here so I can see where I really need to cut it. I could cut it with my paper trimmer, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my scissors. And we're just going to put glue here, right? Again, we just want to make sure we got glue at the top, right? And all the edges really good. Because we want our paper to at least stick on the edges. The other thing I like about the glue is versus the Stampin' Seal Plus is that, you know what, I can sit up there and still have a little moving room. Hello, Bertner. So I'm just going to stick this right here. Might have to nudge it just a little. Alright, so the main thing is where it really sits really good. Just make sure everything is flat. Alright, so this looks like it might be a little over. See that? That's okay. What we'll do is we can use our scissors to trim this. But the main thing, I think I'd rather trim at the bottom. Let's see if we can. Because, right, so you want to give, so if you're going to have to trim wherever it's going to be the most forgiving or less seen, right? So I definitely want this to look really smooth on top. And let's see here. Let me push this over and nudge. See, it's almost, the glue's almost completely set that I'm not going to have much more wiggle room. So that's what I like about it, though. But if I had done this with Stampin' Seal, it's done, right? Once it's on, it's done. Once you've pressed it down. So now, you see, I can trim that a little bit. And if I'm trying to trim a little bit there. Alright, I'm going to leave it there for the moment. We can come do the other side. Alright, so I'm going to have to cut this to 2 3/8 again. So I already knew I was going to need more than this, right? So I at least got this at this. I don't know if there's enough to go on the, let's see if there's enough to go on the back. Because that's always the big question is, do you want to do the back this way also? But if I did the front in strips, I'm going to want to do the back in strips. So if I decided to go with the back like this, and Bertner, you'll have to let me know if you like it all blue or not. So here's one option, right? Is I could take the side here and just keep on going, right? And go all the way around with this color of Summer Splash Blue. All right, that's one option. The other option that I was looking at originally is just go ahead and taking this paper here. Now see how it matches really nice with that? So my thoughts was to do this and do it just like the front, but make it all strips. So that would be another option. Actually, that was the only other option I had except for snowflakes. I just thought adding the snowflakes, again, it's all a personal preference, right? So for me is, yes, I could. The snowflakes would go, right? It's not that it all belongs to the same paper, right? But I just thought it was just adding another something busy in there. So I don't know. You have to let me know what you think. For the moment, I'm going to go ahead and get this other side done. And then maybe that'll help me decide if I want that back side to be this embossed paper, or if I'm going to want to sit up there and do the designer series paper in strips, right? So it would be 3/4 inch strips by 5 1/8 is what it would require on the back side, no matter what I use. I just think doing this ribbon all the way around might be sort of cute. Let's get this on here so you can see what that looks like. For me, it's all about choices, right? I don't know about you, but for me, it's all about choices, right? And the thing is, I can make more than one crate. right? I don't have to make just one. I can make more. One. And I'm not worried about the glue here because I actually have an eraser that I can get that glue off with. Alright, that's a nice thing is having tools, right? Alright, so as this dries, see how this is going to look? Now, if I added this to the side, that's what they would look like. I think that would still be cute, no matter what I put on back, right? So I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to wrap this all the way around. I'll have to get some more out and trim it, but that's okay. Alright, so I've got this already. So let me go ahead and fold it down like I did the others. And that's going to be my cut line. Now, the only thing was, if I had decided to sit up there and use this as the back side, I may or may not would wrap it all the way around, and most probably not, only because I was going to do the 3/4 inch slats or whatever like they do here, like I did on the front, just to give it a similar look, right? Okay, so we'll let that one dry really good, and meanwhile we're just going to come and trim this. So just take your scissors and get right there to the edge. I did this with making ornaments last night. So I'm going to go and just trim off a little bit off the edge. It's not a much, right? Just a smidgen. Okay, and I can do the same thing down at the bottom. See if I can do it this way. This is the normal way I cut, and that was sort of funky for me last night, but because I usually cut the other way, right? So it's like sort of different when you do that. But we got very sharp points on the end here, so just watch out for your fingers. I got to put a Band-Aid on me the other day because I let that tip down there as I was holding something get. It got it. Got me. Cut me. All right. Let's see how this looks. So yeah. So see, we're already 3/4 done. And let's see, it's only taking 26 minutes. It's only because I've been explaining things to you. Alright, so you can see we've got 2 sides done, right? And if we keep on going with the glue here, let's do it. We're going to get the glue here. And so I do like it when I do stuff like this that it ends, right? I either end it usually on a corner, ideally. And that way it's just easy, another easy way to pick it up versus continuous. I'm just going to lay this down here. So yes, if you'd wanted me to do a different color on the sides, yeah, I'd have to do it on the next one, right? And again, I can do that right there, and I can also take my spatula that I just had. And this one doesn't seem to have any bubbles, but I do want to make sure it's flat, right? And a little bit of glue squeezed out, and it's okay. Just to make sure all of it's laid down nice. You have to give it a moment to dry, and I see, because it's still, and I see this one doesn't want to hold flat quite yet, but we're going to make it hold flat. I'll hold it a minute while I'm doing all this other. So sometimes some things you just got to give them a moment because it's a curve and it's wanting to come back up. I don't really have anything to clip it down. Okay. See how we're doing there. So yes, if you have to hold it for a moment, just hold it for a moment, okay? Now I can flip it this way though, right? And that'll help hold it down too. So what I was talking about here is we're going to take this right here. And I got more rolls of this, so this doesn't really bother me. So we're going to estimate what it's going to take. So we know that we're going to cover from corner to corner here, right? And we got to go down to the other corner, so I'm just going to sort of measure it. I'm giving myself, let's try a 1/2 inch extra, right? In case I need it for whatever reason. And then we're just going to cut this straight down the middle. And that is how we got the border for the bottom. So I don't know, what do you think? So you think we should sit there and use the cardstock here that's been embossed for the back of the crate, or do you think we should use this designer series paper? Right? Either would go. Let me know what you think. You know what you think. You may go, I've got to cut it, right? I guess I could always mix and match it too. Right? Those are all options. I'm always open for options. Trying to see on the front we did 2 and do that on the other. I could do it just like the front as well too. Alright, so I'm just going to get this glued down. So we're just going to put, again, another thin piece, right? To me, it's just always easier to do one side at a time. That way if you make a mistake or something happens, you can just work with it, right? So let's see how this is going to look and connect. So I'm just going to wrap this around here, I believe. And I'm just going to continue like this. Again, if you're not sure if you're going to like it or not, I'm going to take my finger off and see if I like it or not. If I don't, I still have time to do something with it, right? Okay. And I'm okay with that. Alright, so again, I'm just going to use this little spatula to help get it down because my fingers are definitely sticky with glue at the moment. Again, if you need to move this a little bit, just take your little spatula and it'll help you work it down, right? And the other thing is too, it's going to help your ribbon from fraying on the ends because we did cut ribbon in half, right? So it's got a raw edge there, but the glue there will help keep that in place. Okay? Alright. So now we're coming to the back. So here's where we got to make our decisions. Either we're going to want this paper here. So think about the whole box. Or we can continue with the snow paper. So what do you think? Bertner, do you have an opinion on this? So because I didn't, so I could have, so you see here when I go and put this down, even if I do it in strips, alright, it's going to come to this edge right here. And you look on the inside of the box and see how things are looking. So that, like I said, that's one option. And the other option would be is to put this down the middle, in the back. So it would actually have 3 strips, and just for an effect, so you can see, it would look like this. I sort of think I like this just because it breaks it up. Go DSP. All right. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Thank you, Bertner. All right, so we're going to go 5 1/8 inch. And then we're going to cut these down to 3. So this is all that's going to be on the back, right? This and the fact of the ribbon at the bottom. There's nothing else because we want all the focus on the front where we got all the designs. Okay, so I just need 3 of these. And then we'll put the ribbon down, and that will finish this crate. So yes, you can get these crates at the Dollar Tree. Which is, everything's not $1 anymore, right? It's $1.25. And then decorate. So here we go. This is the last of it. Then we just glue our ribbon down, and we've got our finished crate. Real fun and easy to make. It's really, the more time you spend is making decisions what you like the best. So yes, I have several cards that I've made, like the Nest of Winter, right? Winterly treetops of the birds. So I know that's going to be a crate that I'll make to match the cards. We made 3 different cards. And I'll show you, like I said, I'm going to show you what we did in our October Adventure Club. So the next Adventure Club closes out on, I think it closes a little bit early. Usually it's the 15th. And it's going to be the reindeer fun. So for me to do the Adventure Club, it's more than just creating cards, right? Try to make it an experience. Just like we do with the retreats. We make it an experience. So I'll show you what we did. As soon as I finish this here, I'll show you what we did for October. Okay, this one looks a little long for whatever reason. I mean, not long, but wide. So I have to trim that at the bottom. But it's okay. I'm going to wait here. Let's see here. Okay. I'm okay with that because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, yes, I can take this right here. I can do the trim with it and glue it down. It's really not going to be noticeable at all. So if you do floral designs or sewing or any kind of stuff, right, we always are hiding our work underneath so nobody really knows. So they're not going to know. Only if you tell them. Which I've done the quilt before, which I messed up and couldn't seam rip it out. And I literally cut around all that strip that I messed up on. and it is buried underneath fabric now. So the only way you would even know there was a mistake is you would have to take that quilt apart, which taking a quilt apart that's been quilted, good luck. It's a lot of work just to even make a quilt, much less the thought that you had to take it apart for any reason. There, I'm just going to do this right here, and then that other one's just going to end right there. I'm going to clip that off. I'm going to clip up part of that pom-pom too, so that's where the bulk come in and go as the pom-pom. Just going to tuck that corner there, and we're going to end right here. Again, the glue is getting pretty sticky right now, so tacky if you want to call it, so that you can actually push stuff down and make it hold. Alright, so got that right there. So I'm just going to leave that right there as it dries, but here you go. So here's the sides, here's the front, here's the side here, and then here's the back. So we'll see. I'll wait till it all dries good. I'll have to come trim off that a little bit, right? And I might have to trim off the bottom. But there is our cute little fun crate that goes with the card here that we made right here. All right, so let me just re-emphasize for you for the 16th through the 31st. You're going to get a notepad that you get to make. It's got the cute little penguin on the inside. We have these, and then we also have the shaker card and the shaker ornament. And I'll send you components to make this, but you'll have to go out and get your own box. All right? The box isn't being shipped. Because it's like you have to put it in a box that's going to cost $7.95 to ship. So that's not what we do. All right? So let me clear this here so I can show you what was in the October club kit. So yes, so we do it every month, right? Every month, and every month's a different thing, different stamp set. What we do, though, is like with the retreat, and tonight is 7. If you want to see what was in the retreat, I'll be showcasing those. And you'll see that I use some of the stuff that we created or the same stamp set, all right? So let me get the box for us. So yes, here's the box for the club, okay? Now, this particular month, this was our 3D project. And we put the hot cocoa. Here is one of our cards here. And then here's another card that we did. So this is a lot of coloring. So we actually used Stampin' Blends, and we used a color lifter. So we're using techniques to use those this month. Sometimes we use techniques and sometimes not, and here is the other one. So it's 4 cards with a 3D project. And then I put surprises in here. So here's one of the surprises I put for this home decor piece. It says Hello Pumpkin. And let's see what else. I made this, right? Treat bag. Made that. That was one of the pillow gifts. Here is another pillow gift. Just a gift, right? We used bows, the ribbon, taking our ribbon and making the bows. Okay? Oh, thank you. And then they got this ribbon here. They got bling. They got a color lifter because that was going to be the tools that we used. And here's the packet for the cards. Everything's already die cut and all. And then here they also got some VSP to go well. So we just packaged this up. I just disrupted this box, so I'll have to repackage it again. But always pack it really nice and neat. I'm just going to toss it back in here. So this is somebody's kit. They got to come pick it up. They've been out of town. I'm not going to mention names, but I'll show you the PDF tutorials. So here are the PDF tutorials that went with the kit. And actually this month was a little different because I actually had some bonus tutorials to go with it. So usually you get 5 tutorials, right? 4 for the cards and 1 for the 3D project. And then we have the apple season. So I actually put the card and the treat box together. And then here was the bonus tutorial. So they got a bonus tutorial for this. And they got a bonus tutorial for this one here. I think there was one more. Nope, that was it. That was the end of the bonus tutorial. So they got So, so with the bonus tutorials, they didn't get the products for it. They just got these tutorials just as extras because I had some extras from creating on live, so that's along with it. So there you go. How about that? Right? Because it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. So, and I try to sit there. It's always a joy to sit there and be able to put some fun surprises in there to surprise people. That's what really makes it fun. It's almost like sending somebody a birthday present, right? Because they don't know what's going to be all in there. And we were able to front the box too, so that you sit there and if you don't have time at the moment, you're going to make it later, then it's there and you know what's in it, right? What's inside the box. But we do offer, so it's set there. It's the fourth Thursday of the month at 10 a.m. People come here and we create together. Or on Zoom at 7 p.m. in the evening, we come together and create for those people that live outside of the area and all, or even if you live local and rather do the Zoom, that's fine too. It doesn't matter to me, right? It's all about creating, sharing, and giving and having fun together. So I want to thank you for supporting us here on Adventure Stamping as well as Zoe and Anna Stamping. And I also want to thank you for supporting us on YouTube and on Instagram. With that, be blessed. Have a totally amazing week. I look forward to seeing you next week. And it'll be a new month, November. And if you're interested in being a hobby demonstrator or a demonstrator period, or you like a discount, you only have until tomorrow to take advantage and sign up the special they got right now where you can sign up for $99 and get $155 worth of product. So even like the new stuff that's coming out, because when you sign up, you have access to everything a regular demonstrator has. So we get to pre-order right now for the Valentine's suite, and there's the cute otter suite, and there's a couple other things too. So if you sign up today or tomorrow, you can still include that with your package, right? And the stuff that you get to choose for $155. So we'd love to have you. But if not, come and join us anytime we're here live, all right? And with that, be blessed. Again, have an amazing week, and see you next week. Bye.